Honestly, I'm kinda not entirely sure how to feel about the latest My Hero Academia chapter. Now, obviously, spoiler warning for My Hero Academia manga chapter 423. So, you've been warned. If you don't want to hear about what's going to be happening this upcoming chapter, feel free to scroll. Come back to this video, like, when the chapter comes out, to discredit anything I say, honestly. But is it just me, or does this event just not feel that fulfilling? Like, the defeat of All for One and Shigaraki just, to me, didn't feel that fulfilling. And furthermore, is it just me, or once All for One took control of the body, did he just become less intimidating? And in my opinion, I think he even felt like less of a presence. It's as if once he took control of Shigaraki's mind, his body degraded and decayed, no pun intended. Because everyone else started showing up, Deku got his arms healed, and then the one thing I did especially like one positive thing I can say, is the callback Deku did to the United States of Smash All Might did against All for One, where Deku uses all the remaining power within One for All, throws a full power punch at All for One, transferring all of the energy he had left in his body into All for One's body, including the vestige of the original One for All host into the mindscape of All for One, and destroying not only All for One, but possibly the origin of One for All as well, taking them both down, having them both return to the original host body. But one of my biggest gripes here was how rushed these last couple chapters have been. Like, it's only been 3 or 4 chapters from Deku getting One for All taken, his arms taken off, the immediate next chapter getting his arms back, and then the chapter right after that, or the chapter after that, he uses all of One for All's embers, just the physical strength of One for All, and one-shots All for One. Like, obviously, I cut out a bunch of, like, the stuff in between to explain a lot of stuff, but it just feels like these events could have spanned a few more chapters rather than just boom, 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 boom. These last couple of chapters just felt more like going through a checklist rather than reading a story. Now, personally, I like how the story itself played out for this last arc. And when it comes to the character deaths, especially the villains' deaths, damn did they hurt. The symbolic meaning behind each of the villains' deaths from the Leagues of Villains just hit. It just felt so thematic how they went out. But for some reason, although the satisfying conclusion with the whole thing with All for One and One for All, like, extinguishing at the same time, possibly, the way that we got to that point didn't feel as fulfilling. One way I can compare it to is like eating an entire meal, but while you're eating the meal, you're not satisfied, and you're only satisfied with the last bite of the meal. I hope that makes sense. Someone could probably phrase it in a more unique way that actually makes more sense in the comments.